Hi, I'm Tina. I'm 30, and I've made a name for myself as an environmental cleaning and conservation consultant. This work isn't just a job for me, it's a calling. I've always been the type to stand up for what's right, even when it's difficult. But when it comes to my family, things get complicated. Take my brother, Mark, for instance. He's 33, married to Vanessa, who's 32, and let's just say our perspectives couldn't be more different. Tina, honey, are you coming to help set the table? My mom calls from the kitchen. She and Dad have always been my rocks. Coming, Mom, I yell back, heading to the dining room. As I set out the plates, Dad walks in, smiling hopefully. Excited about the family reunion next week, kiddo? I force a smile. Sure, Dad. Can't wait. Truthfully, these reunions have been tense, especially since Mark started working at Green Corp. Ironic name, right? The company's constantly in the news for all the wrong reasons. Later that night, I call my cousin Emily. Something's off with Mark's job. The things I've been hearing about Green Corp. Tina, come on, Emily sighs. Mark says everything's above board. Of course he'd say that. I snap, frustration creeping in. Just then, there's a knock at my door, my cousin Jason. I say goodbye to Emily and let him in. What's up, Jace? I ask, sinking into the couch. He looks worried. It's about Uncle Robert. I overheard him talking to Dad about a big investment he made. I think it's tied to Mark's company. My stomach sinks. Uncle Robert, the cautious one, mixed up with Green Corp. Jason, this is serious. I say, mind racing. We need to figure out what's going on before the reunion. He nods, his expression as grim as mine. Be careful, Tina. You know how Vanessa gets when anyone questions Mark's work. I roll my eyes. Don't remind me. Last Christmas was a disaster. When Jason leaves, I feel a heavy sense of dread. Aunt Susan and Uncle Robert's lakeside property is usually a place of happy memories. But this year, I can't shake the feeling that things are going to be different. I grab my phone and start researching Green Corp's latest projects. If Mark and Uncle Robert are caught up in something shady, I need to know. The day of the reunion arrives and tension fills the air as soon as I pull up to the lakeside property. The smell of barbecue drifts through the crowd gathered on the back patio. Tina, you made it. Emily waves me over, and I force a smile, weaving through the crowd. Near the grill, I spot Mark and Vanessa holding court. Oh, you must see the photos from Bali, Vanessa is gushing. The resort was divine. Couldn't have done it without Mark's promotion. I exchange a look with Jason, who mouths, brace yourself. Mark launches into a description of Green Corp's latest venture, painting it as some environmental marvel. I can't hold back anymore. Mark, are you serious? That project is devastating the local ecosystem. How can you be okay with that? His expression hardens. You have no idea what you're talking about, Tina. We have top scientists. Scientists paid to say what the company wants, I cut in. I've seen independent reports, Mark. It's bad. He leans in, voice low. You always do this. Acting like you know everything about my job. I know enough to be worried. I shoot back. Vanessa suddenly shrieks, you're just jealous of our success. I blink, taken aback. Vanessa, that's not. Don't lie, she snaps. I heard you insulting Mark's work. You've always been out to get us. Everyone turns as the argument heats up, tension thickening. Uncle Robert steps in, trying to calm everyone down. Now let's all take a deep breath. But Vanessa wasn't done. You think you're so much better than us with your precious consulting job. Well, guess what? Nobody cares about your tree-hugging nonsense. The entire family was watching now, the air thick with tension. My parents looked mortified, while Aunt Susan tried unsuccessfully to pull Vanessa away. Vanessa, you're drunk, I said firmly. This isn't the time or place. Then, out of nowhere, it happened. We lined up for the annual family photo, the lake glimmering in the background. I stood at the edge of the group, close to the pool. Just as Uncle Robert raised the camera, I felt a hard shove from behind. The world tilted, and before I could react, I was airborne. There was a split second of shock before I hit the cold water with a loud splash. I surfaced, sputtering, to see Vanessa standing at the edge of the pool, a triumphant smirk on her face. The rest of the family stood frozen in shock. That's what you get for insulting my husband, you stuck-up witch, Vanessa crowed. Humiliation burned through me as I treaded water. my clothes clinging to me. The silence was deafening until finally, Dad rushed over. "Tina, honey, are you okay?" I didn't answer. Instead, I swam to the ladder, pulled myself out, and walked past my stunned family, grabbing my purse and heading for my car. "Tina, wait." I heard Emily call out, but I didn't stop. I got in my car, soaked and shivering, and drove away from the lake house, my hands trembling on the steering wheel. In the weeks following the disastrous reunion, I buried myself in work. My phone buzzed constantly with messages from Mom, Dad, and Emily, but I ignored them. I couldn't deal with the family drama right now. "Tina, you've been staring at that report for an hour." Mike's voice pulled me from my thoughts. I looked up at my colleague and friend, sighing. "It's complicated, Mike, family stuff." Mike pulled up a chair. "Does this have anything to do with your brother's company? You've been researching Green Corp nonstop." "You caught me," I admitted. "Something's not right there, Mike. I can feel it." He leaned in, lowering his voice. I have some contacts in environmental regulation. If you want to dig deeper, I can help." I hesitated, then nodded. "Let's do it." Over the next few weeks, Mike and I worked tirelessly, following paper trails and connecting dots. What we uncovered was shocking. "Tina, look at this," Mike said one late night, his eyes wide. "These financial reports, they are cooking the books, and the environmental impact studies are completely fabricated." My heart sank as I realized the extent of the fraud. But how was Mark involved? He wasn't in the financial department. We dug deeper, and the truth hit me like a ton of bricks. Mark wasn't orchestrating the fraud, but he was unknowingly signing off on false reports. He was being used as a scapegoat. "We have to report this, Tina," Mike said. "It's bigger than your brother now." "I know," I replied, feeling the weight of the decision. "I just need some time to process." As if on cue, my phone rang. It was Vanessa. Against my better judgment, I answered. "What do you want, Vanessa?" "I know what you're doing," she hissed. "You're trying to dig up dirt on Mark's company, aren't you? You just can't stand to see us succeed." I felt my temper rise. "Vanessa, you have no idea what you're talking about. Mark is in trouble, and he doesn't even know it." "Trouble?" she scoffed. "The only trouble here is you. You're so jealous of our life that you'd ruin us." "Well, it won't work." "Jealous?" I laughed bitterly. "Of what? A marriage built on lies and a career that's about to come crashing down. Open your eyes, Vanessa. Stay away from us," she spat, "or I'll make sure you regret it." The line went dead. I stood there, shaking with anger and frustration. Mike approached cautiously. "Everything okay?" I took a deep breath. "No." "Mike, we need to compile all this evidence," I said, determination hardening my voice. "We're sending it to the regulators and every investigative journalist we know." He hesitated. "Are you sure? This could have serious consequences for your brother." I nodded firmly. "I'm sure. It's time for the truth to come out." That night, I sat at my computer, my heart pounding as I prepared to send the anonymous tip. My finger hovered over the send button. "I'm sorry, Mark," I whispered and clicked send. The news broke like a tsunami. The Green Corp scandal was everywhere. TV, newspapers, social media. I watched from a distance as the company I fought so hard to expose crumbled under the weight of its own corruption. My phone rang. It was Emily. "Tina, have you seen the news? It's about Mark's company. It's bad." I took a deep breath. "I know, Em. I've been following it." There was a pause, then her voice softened. "You didn't you? This is what you were trying to tell us all along." Before I could respond, another call came through. It was Mark. "Tina, I've been fired. They're saying I was involved in some kind of fraud." "I swear I didn't know." His voice cracked, and my heart ached for him despite everything. "The police were at our house this morning," he continued, his voice shaking. "Vanessa's freaking out. We might lose everything." In the following weeks, the fallout continued. Mom and Dad called, apologizing for not believing me. Uncle Robert faced financial ruin. His investment in Green Corp was wiped out. One day, there was a knock at my door. It was Vanessa, looking nothing like her usual polished self. "Tina, I'm sorry for everything," she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. "The pool of accusations. I was wrong." I crossed my arms, feeling the weight of everything that had happened. "It's a bit late for that. don't you think? She looked at me, desperation in her eyes. Please, we need your help. Mark's facing charges. We're about to lose the house. I shook my head. No, Vanessa. I'm done cleaning up your messes. You made your choices. As I closed the door on her tear-streaked face, I felt a strange mix of satisfaction and sadness. Weeks turned into months. My firm was hired to help clean up the environmental damage Green Corp had left behind. The work was grueling but fulfilling, each project a step toward healing the land. One evening, as I was wrapping up at the office, Mike poked his head in. Hey, superstar, you planning on going home anytime soon? I laughed, closing my laptop. Just finishing up. Wanna grab a bite? As we walked out, he gave me a knowing look. I heard through the grapevine that you turned down dinner with your parents again. I shrugged. I'm not ready. Maybe someday, but not now. He nodded. Well, you know you always got a family here, right? His words warmed my heart. Thanks, Mike. I do know that. Months later, I hosted a small gathering at my new apartment. Emily and Jason were chatting with Mike and some colleagues. My best friend from college was mixing drinks in the kitchen. Speech, Jason called out, raising his glass. I laughed, feeling unexpectedly emotional. Okay. I just want to say thank you to all of you. This past year has been tough, but you've shown me what real family looks like. It's not about blood or obligation. It's about support, trust, and doing the right thing, even when it's hard. Emily raised her glass. To Tina, the bravest person we know. Just then, the doorbell rang. Jason answered and returned with a puzzled look. Tina, there's a delivery for you. I opened the small package to find a single sheet of paper. It was a letter from Mark. Tina, I know it's too late to fix things between us, but I wanted you to know that you were right about everything. I'm facing the consequences of my actions now, and I understand why you did what you did. I hope someday you can forgive me. Your brother, Mark. I folded the letter and tucked it away, a bittersweet sense of closure washing over me. Maybe someday, I thought. But for now, I had a party to enjoy and a bright future ahead. The story's over, but I'm curious. If you were in my shoes, would you have exposed the truth, knowing it could ruin your brother's life? Was I right to prioritize justice over family loyalty? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this dilemma got you thinking, hit like and subscribe for more complex moral quandaries. Your opinion matters. Let's discuss.